possessing of everything.
The covenless witch.
It's been Agatha all along.
No. What really happened to you?
Seekest thou the road to all that's foul and fair?
She took every little bit of power I had.
Gather sisters fire.
I'm assembling a coven. We gotta get back on top. I'm gonna walk the road.
Join me.
Darkest hour, wake thy power, earthly and divine.
The witch's road will give you the thing you want most. If you make it to the end.
The road is a death wish. Heard you guys were having a party.
What's up? Hey.
Shall we? It will test us and our knowledge of the craft. We don't even know what we're up against. Our worst nightmares.
How do we pass this trial without any power?
We survive, like witches have been doing for centuries.
What happens next?
I just need these witches to get me to the end.
The bodies are really piling up.
Why do you let them believe those things about you?
Because the truth is too awful.
I want my prize!
Time to finish the road. Last one there is a nice person.
Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NRW, where nerds rule the world. My name is Heather Hurt. That is Kuya P, and that was also the trailer for Agatha All Along, the brand new series that just arrived as of this recording in like 2 hours on Disney Plus. Original actual release date is 9/18 for the first 2 episodes. Going in, first words, Kuya P, quick thoughts.
Loved WandaVision. Big hit in this household, the Strange household, to go along with the theme, crazy weird. We're the Strange household. Yes, we loved Agatha. Agatha Harkness, aka Kathryn Hahn, just brilliant. So to see her spin off from WandaVision, we were excited, and such a delight. I can't wait for us to talk all the episodes that we had the opportunity to see. We had the opportunity to see the first 4. We have 5 more to go, but we'll only break it down to 2 in this recording. Just so excited to talk about it. So yeah, Kathryn Hahn, love her, and it's I was very excited leading into the series.
Yes. Awesome. And it's 4, correct. Sure. Sorry, correction. 4. There are 8 episodes in total. So
I was on IMDb, said 9.
9? Was there 9?
Yeah, IMDb is saying 9.
Okay.
With 8 and 9 premiering the very last episodes on October 30th.
You know what? It's Disney. It's gonna be somewhere between 6 and 9, and then getting
yeah, they gave us the first 4, and they're
more.
making us wait for the last 5.
Yes, got it. Okay. All we know is that it ends on Halloween, which is awesome. This is a very Halloween-y show. So let's break down some things real quick. First, let's talk cast and crew like we always do. The series was directed by Jac Schaeffer, Gandja, I think that's how you say it, Montiero, and Rachel Goldberg. The series was written by Jac Schaeffer, Laura Monti, Jason Rostovsky. They do a lot of repeats in IMDb. Giovanna Sarkey, Laura Donnie. And then, of course, we have our big names like Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Cameron Squires, Peter Cameron, and Gia King. Those are most, we got some based on and written bys right there. Actors, come on. Kathryn Hahn, love you, Queen. Joe Locke, who is not new to the comic book world. So if y'all are watching other things, he is He does some smexy graphic novel stuff. Who plays Teen? Sasheer Zamata, who plays Jennifer. Aubrey Plaza. Audrey. I've never done this once in my life. I've never talked about Aubrey Plaza in my life. Who plays Rio? Ali On, right? On. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm sorry. Who plays Alice? Patti LuPone, who plays Lilia, and I'm sorry. I'm not even going to go there into the Salem 7. I'm not going to get into them yet, even though we do see them in episode 2. Spoiler. But I'm going to stop there because that's really where I should have stopped already anyway. Most of the cast and crew, that's most of the main cast. It takes a village. We say this every time, takes a village. This show is very small in relativity. It does primarily center around the 7. The 7 main characters, 7.5, but we'll get into that later. So we'll stop there. We're going to stop there for now. I'm sorry, Debra Jo I'm so good at names. Debra Jo Rupp, who plays Mrs. Hart. Sharon. Who's Sharon again?
She'll always be that 70s show to me, and we love her.
And she is just, I love her so much. She is Kitty through and through. Anyway, that is our cast and crew. I don't do this usually, so don't get mad at me. I warn y'all all the time about names. So that is the cast and crew. Now let's talk the story. Agatha All Along takes place 3 years after the events of WandaVision, and throughout this time, Agatha has been in a haze, has been lost, has been broken. She's been without her powers since Wanda literally stole them along with the Darkhold from her at the end of WandaVision. That's not a spoiler. That happened already. Don't get mad at me. It's usually Kuya P who's the one that's spoiling things, so don't get mad. From there, so she is now in Westview. She has no idea what's going on, what happened when she is snapped out of it somehow or another, because that's a spoiler I will not give. And she now has to get her powers back. She has to build up a coven to get to what we know as the Witch's Road. The Witch's Road, which you see right beside Kuya P, it's them walking along this beautiful Wizard of Oz-y kind of path. And they have to experience trials and tribulations to get something that they truly wish. It's kind of like rubbing a genie's lamp. When you get through it all, as long as you say the correct words and want the correct things, you will get it as long as you survive. That's the first 2 episodes are really her coming out of that fog and building up her coven. And that is all I will say. So let's get right back into the review. Kuya P, we've gotten our initial thoughts. Casting, how did you feel when you saw each one of these characters, some of whom have returned and some of whom are either new to comics in general or new to their characters? How are you feeling?
Phenomenal. Marvel to me knows how to cast these projects. I've been delighted with all of their casting decisions in both film and the TV series on Disney Plus. Outstanding cast. Highlighted, I guess, real quickly. I love Aubrey Plaza. So to add her into this mix, she's queen as well, and hilarious. Debra Jo Rupp, who we mentioned earlier, is amazing. Sasheer Zamata, I believe. She plays Jennifer Kale. Just everybody, Ali On, just everybody you mentioned, Joe Locke, just a stellar cast. And you get so involved, I'll say, with trying not to spoil with these characters that, things are going to happen along this journey that you're going to be like heartbroken in a way. But you need to be heartbroken. So you want to instantly fall in love with these people that they have cast in order to get that emotion when things happen. So stellar cast. I think they did great in regards to the cast and story as well, if we're gonna now lead into that a little bit without spoiling,
of course,
if you will. So then kind of mention something with episode 1, if you will. There's a trailer there and there's some stuff are gonna happen, but maybe minor spoiler. I know Heather's already looking at me like, what are you going to say? What was great about WandaVision, what I loved about what I think we all liked about WandaVision, or at least I'll speak for myself, is how they went into different genres with TV history and decades. They do something similar with at least episode 1 of Agatha All Along. It's very procedural, if you will. And I loved that, and just to start off and kick us off with this season and this show that then uniquely becomes its own was just a delight to at least give us that recall before we go along the Witch's Road. Was just awesome. So did I maneuver my spoilers on that one, Heather?
You do see part of that in the trailer, so I'll give him that.
What did you like that as well? Did you like that nod?
I did. It also what you have is you have most of the same creative team behind WandaVision returning for the series. So you have another set of thematic episodes. Not going to get into it. We've seen the first 4, but what's really cool about this is that we have another very thematic show. But as Kuyupi said, it's a very individually thematic show. It's not taking what's already been done. It's taking the concept, repackaging it, and then giving us something new, which is a lot of fun. So I'm really enjoying that was kind of the kickoff to let's have something different and original. And let's have something a little bit more magical. The WandaVision had magic, but it didn't really feel magical, One of the great things that I really, really loved from the press conference, and I've said this a couple times, is that there is practicality to this show. A lot of the sets, a lot of the visuals, they're all practical. They're not CGI, which makes this actually feel a little bit more magical. I made a statement on the tweeters. Once again, I'm going to keep saying Twitter. It's practical yet magical, and it's wonderful. There's a level of selfishness, but a level of selflessness amongst the cast. It's a very diverse and comfortable cast, and you got to see them actually experience a lot of this stuff in real life versus just looking at a green screen or looking at a tennis ball on a stick and hoping that it's the same thing. And it gives a very realistic feel to this. So as you are maneuvering through the themes, as you are watching the costume changes, as you are experiencing the darkness that's filling up the room, you actually you are immersed in it, and it's a wonderful thing. We haven't gotten into the negatives yet, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those where it's a very it's a very refreshing feeling.
Gotcha.
The show.
I love just how they expanded it out. Like, who knew Agatha, unless you're a super diehard comics fan, of Agatha Harkness, who's been around the comics for quite some time. But when we got it with WandaVision, I was curious how they're going to build this out. But you cast Kathryn Hahn. Kathryn Hahn will make it and deliver it and make it you want to take it to other places. And they did that. So with this cast, going back to I'm sorry to go back to this, that question again you had earlier. I just love this cast. And again, people are going to feel it as I go with each episode. I want to know so much more. And there's so many more stories they can tell. That just phenomenal job. It's going to hurt when we lose, if we lose, certain characters along the way.
Well, and that actually brings up a really good point. I don't want to call this a negative, because for many people, they are kind of over superhero stories. They're kind of over comic book stories. Not saying that's us. There are just people out there, you see it. And these are people that are huge comic book fans and huge comic movie fans saying, I'm a little tired, which is okay. That's something that this show kind of does a little differently. This did not feel, even though quite a bit of it has a reality in comic books, and I cannot wait to talk about something that happens in episode 3. The Twitterverse.
Yeah, we'll dig in more with the next episode, y'all. We're gonna glaze with this 1 and 2.
But no, I'm just saying the world is about to catch on fire, y'all. And I mean fandomly, not anything to do with the show. Fandomly, it's about to catch on fire. But this show, because so much of it has to be made up, because Harkness does have a history, her son has a history. There's not much more you can, but it's not like it's a grand history. There is evidence of it. And that's one of the things that the directors and the writers really got to really jump into, is that they got to use what elements of a comic book show, elements of comics, but make it their own. And whether you see that as a negative or a positive for something that's supposed to be a comic book show, it's interesting to have. I did not get a comic book feeling with this show. What about you, Kuyopi?
You know what? I would say you're right. I would say you're definitely right, which, yeah, for those that have been burnt on the superhero stuff and not digging the Disney Plus, this will be a change, and it might lure them back, if you will, if they were getting burnt out, because this does stray from that line to a degree.
Mhm.
I'm flexible. To me, superhero stories can be this, because we're longtime fans and we know the true essence of comic books. That, yeah, I would agree in regards to the conventional views and standards of a comic book type of film or
Yeah.
show series. Yeah.
This just seemed a little bit more. This seemed very Once Upon a Timey, and I'm going to say it more because of like the mythical woods than it did comic book as I was watching it, especially the first. Excuse me. Especially the second episode when they're just getting there. There's this element of mythical versus an element of fantastical. Or I'm sorry, it's an element of fantastical versus an element of mythical, which so much of Marvel is around, is the myths, is the legends. So yeah, once again, not taking that as a negative or a positive. However, what I will say, my only true negative, and Kuyopi, we'll get into this for you, is some of it seems a little, because they are doing so much practical, sometimes there's these moments that kind of take you out. Because they look a little bit fake at times. There's some fakeness to it. I don't know. There seems some moments where I was just pulled out of it because I don't know how to explain it. There was just something off it. And the thing is with the show, it could be doing it on purpose.
That's so true. That is so true.
That is the other thing, is it could be
because it goes back and forth in certain. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I could see kind of what you're saying, but then they have their easy out as a show,
yeah,
due to the style and way they're trying to give us the story.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So, okay.
It's not really a lot of a negative. There's some some plot points where you're like, why would they do that? The show is also drags at certain times, and you're like, this didn't need to happen, that little, but that's just a nitpick thing, less a critique thing. The show for the most part is fun. It's different. What about you, Kuyopi? Was there something that really sparked a dislike moment for you?
A dislike? I actually, to be honest, I didn't have. It's been a while since I first saw it. As you recently had screened it. I screened it like maybe a month or two ago, so it's kind of not so fresh, but I'm excited to watch it again. I was just really looking forward to the conversation with you, being you're such a witchy fan and such a fan of all of these people involved in it, that I just couldn't wait for your take. But just so delighted in the cast, the ensemble. While we love Kathryn Hahn, who again is brilliant, everybody that they brought to the plate plays off so well with her and against her that I cannot wait to finish the ride that I went on with these first 4 episodes, and gonna be broken if certain things happen with the rest of the season, because I would love for a season 2 and still see everyone still here, but I know things are gonna change because of what they're trying to tell with this season 1 and going on this witch's road. So I'm just gonna be, as an empath, excuse me, I gotta watch my language. I'm on Disney Plus right now, this is a Disney Plus show. I'm going to be messed up by the end of this journey. I know it, because I love these characters and I've loved who they cast and how they performed it and what they're doing with it. So I just cannot wait to go on the rest of the ride.
Absolutely. And if you'll notice, we kind of did stray a little bit from just 1 and 2, or we kind of talked a little bit more broadly than we should have. But one of the really cool things about the first 2 episodes is they're very introductory. They really just start you out. So that's kind of why we kind of drifted in this direction for the review. It doesn't give you enough. As always, you should give everything at least 3. And this is just the introduction. This is just the start. We got to meet the cast. We got to meet. We got to see Westview as it is today. We got to literally meet the road, and that is it. So where we're saying right now is we are excited for what's to come, because this was just the beginning. 1 and 2 is just the beginning, and it's great to be back. It's great to see who they introduced and what the feel of the show is starting to look like, or starting to feel like, and the practicality behind it. It's a lot of fun.
We'll dive in more with episode 3, because we're actually going to be on the road of the adventure that everyone's going to experience with this season 1.
So one really
one is like assemble the team. Well, no, one is come off of WandaVision, bring back Han, know what was going down, and 2 is like now it's Mission Impossible. Let's get the team together because we're going on this journey on the Witch's Road.
Exactly.
And we didn't want to spoil for y'all. So, maybe next episode we'll time it to the release so that way we can talk a little
bit more spoilery. A little bit more spoiler. Yeah. Because once again, there's something in 3 that
you're excited.
There's gonna be fires everywhere. Once again, not the episode, just the fandom. Don't get mad at me, Disney. I'm not talking about that. Anywho, this was the introduction. We are excited to see what's going to happen going forward. Yeah, that's it. I think we got it all. If you have any thoughts, other than there's one comment. You never read the comments, but by the way, witches are a little gay. So if you come into my comments and say the show's gay, welcome to witchcraft, y'all. Sorry to tell you. But other than that, if you have any opinions, if you have any questions, if you found a moment that you would like to see differently, or if you want to talk, send us all those messages. Our socials are in the description. Like, share, subscribe, make those comments here, and let's have a conversation about it. Agatha All Along premieres today as of this recording, 9/18. So make sure you check out the first 2 episodes exclusively on Disney+. We will see y'all soon.